The United States has accused the European Union of risking a worldwide food famine through its new agriculture policy. Ted McKinney, the Undersecretary for Trade and Foreign Agricultural Affairs, said Brussels' push for greener farming and a refusal to embrace genetically modified food could result in global starvation. Europe is choosing to export this philosophy and dictate to other countries around the world, the U.S. official claimed. What do we say to our kids and grandkids when famine and starvation sets in? And it will. The European Parliament last week voted on a series of sweeping reforms to the bloc's common agricultural policy. CAP accounts for over €350 billion in spending across the EU's next 7-year budget, in direct payments to farmers and support for rural development. The position adopted by MEPs called for more green spending and eco-schemes to be included in the package, which still has to be signed off by the European Commission and Council. Bureaucrats this year unveiled the so-called farm-to-fork strategy as part of the Green Deal. The plan hopes to make the EU's food production more sustainable by 2030 through a policy overhaul. EU officials want to boost organic farming and scrap the use of chemicals, pesticides and fertilizers. Mr. McKinney insisted the bloc's rejection of genetically modified technologies and gene editing techniques was a setback for the bloc. He said, "I'd like to go back 25, 30 years and say GMOs were a good thing and that you might want to consider those." He added that the EU shift to greener farming, including in its trade deals, would only feed the elites who can afford the finer foods and would impact the need to double food production by 2050 to feed the growing world population. The difference here is the desire for absolutely, unequivocally no risk, Mr. McKinney said. Well, society is going to fail if there is no risk taken. Mr. McKinney also lashed out at the hostility from the EU and UK over American food safety standards. He said the bloc is happy to criticize US standards but often turns a blind eye when dealing with diseases in its own livestock. It's unfortunate that the European Union chooses to diss us on our food, denigrate us, criticize us, he said. Europe is the only place in the world that does that to us. We talk about chlorinated chicken and hormone beef and big industrial agriculture. We don't criticize you even though you've got African swine fever ravaging parts of Germany and Poland and other parts. Back when mad cow disease came to the UK, what an unfortunate incident, we did not criticize Europe. So why is the criticism coming our way?